Good morning, everyone. Did everybody have a happy Thanksgiving? Raise your hand if you didn't, because we'll take care of you right now. If you didn't have a happy Thanksgiving, we'll take care of you. We've got drugs. We had a great Thanksgiving at my house. We had more people than we had anticipated. We had 17 people, and when I set the table, we were short one fork. Now, it was an interesting proposition because most of the people there are into the spiritual work and unity, etc. My entire family was there with the grandchildren. But it came down to somebody was going to have to eat their Thanksgiving dinner with a plastic picnic fork. And so I used that to do a spiritual test on everybody. I went up to each adult and said, would you mind eating with a plastic fork? Because we're out of forks and we're missing one. And they all passed the test. Yeah, okay, except one, Dell, my oldest son's wife, she just grabbed the fork from my hand and said, I got it. And it was such a demonstration of determination to do the right thing. And at that moment, this beautiful light filled the room, and an angel's voice said, well done, good and faithful servant. And then the light focused on the plastic fork, and all of a sudden, it turned into flimsy cardboard fork. I'm telling you a story now. The story about the fork is true. We had to have somebody take a plastic fork. But the angel thing, I made it up just to have some fun. Well, you're going to love this talk that Syntysche is going to share with you today, so look forward to it.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. Those of you who are joining us here in person and those of us who are joining online, thank you so much for spending a little time with us, that we get to hang out with you as well each Sunday. So it is what we love to do. So we all just had Thanksgiving, and we just had our annual our Thanksgiving potluck over here in Fellowship Hall. And we at Unity of Boulder just want to say thank you to all the volunteers that pitched in so much hard work to get that. It's a lot of work to make a meal. There was about 100 people in there. You can imagine how much work that is to make a big turkey dinner for that many people. So thank you everyone who helped out and volunteered for that. And especially thank you, Andy Lennox, for taking the reins and running the whole thing. So thank you. Next up, we are starting today our Wounded Knee food and gift drive that we do every year to send up to Wounded Knee. We have a list of food items that we need so they can have a big Christmas meal. There's a checklist on a easel in the lobby over here, so go see if there's anything there you'd like to bring and donate. Check it off if it's a thing you think you want to bring in, and then just deliver it anytime between now and December 20th. And we're also doing our annual gift drive, and we will be doing the thing we normally do where we have a tree down here in the lobby with names of children up at Wounded Knee that have their specific gender and age, so you can go buy a new gift for them and bring it in wrapped, and we'll deliver it up there on December 20th as well. But we're also taking donations of anything warm, whether it be warm coats, warm pants, outwear stuff you can help you just get through the winter. We're not looking for just regular clothes or t-shirts or anything like that. They're not looking, they don't even use that stuff. They're looking for anything to keep them warm, heaters, anything like that. Please just donate it to us anytime between now and December 20th, and we will get it up there as we always do. We have on Tuesday at 10:30, I'm going to be running a newsletter mailing. We'll be stuffing envelopes, sending out our annual Christmas letter that lets people know we're having our Christmas show, and hey, don't forget about us letter. So if you'd like to help out, it's a really fun way to help out Unity of Boulder. We just hang out, we eat food, listen to music, joke around, and by the time you get going, you don't even notice that you're still stuffing envelopes. So we always have a really good time doing that. Should take maybe 2, maybe 3 hours starting at 10:30. So Even if you only have 15 minutes, want to come and say hi, please, we'd love to have you. And finally, today we have our conscious communications class, and that is led by Steve Hayes, who's Syntysche's assistant. He's been teaching conscious communication for well over a decade. It's $10. It's drop-in. You don't have to sign up. That's downstairs today at 1 in our YOU room, which is at the bottom of these stairs right there. So please come out. If you haven't checked that out yet, please do. Steve is wonderful and a great teacher. Now I'd like to welcome out today's musical guest. As you all recognize, Marcy Baruch. Welcome back, Marcy. Good to have you as always. So take it away.
Good morning, everybody. So appreciating being here with you today. It just has felt like such a beautiful past few days, and the Thanksgiving meal here was just amazing, and I was there for it and loved seeing a lot of you there. So continuing in this spirit of gratitude and appreciation and just pausing to be with one another, I'd love to share this song with you. Just a second, Larry. Steve, I'm hearing some sound stuff. Are the monitors on or are the speakers on? Play a little more, Larry. La, la, la. Okay. All right. Let's go with that. Thanks for bearing with us on that. I really want the full impact of the song to land for everyone, so thanks. 1, 2, 3. All I have and all I feel is all because of you. All I reap is all I sow, and love is our living proof. Thank you for life. Thank you for everything. I stand here in grace and gratitude, and I thank you. Seasons come and seasons go, no matter what we choose. 1,000 names, 1,000 roads, all lead to one simple truth. Thank you for life. Thank you for everything. I stand here in grace and gratitude, and I thank you. Thank you for everything. I stand here in grace and gratitude, and I thank you. I thank you. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much. So beautiful. You just bring your hearts every time. I love you so much. Thank you. We should be whooping it up for these people that share their hearts with us and share their talents. So what a gift we have here at Unity. So good morning, everyone. Welcome. Good to see you all. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, gathering with friends and family, and we had a wonderful potluck this last Thursday, and it was really wonderfully received and beautifully given by all the volunteers that helped with it. So I'm truly grateful to each and every one of you that served your time and really sacrificed your holiday, but I'm sure you didn't feel like it was a sacrifice, because there's nothing like receiving from your giving. When we're giving of our hearts, it just blesses us tenfold. So today I'm starting a new talk series that's going to be 4 weeks long, titled Healing to Completion, a process assisting you in awakening. And today I'm going to be playing some soft music behind my speaking today it's Reiki music, so it's energetically lifting music. So while I'm speaking, even if something doesn't relate with you, this music is holding a space and lifting vibrationally your consciousness. So I think we all can use that support right now, and this week I've been really focusing on giving myself that support and taking more baths and listening to music that has chords that are attuned for heightening consciousness and helping me step out of the world and how the world has been affecting me, the many calls, the many things that if we sign up, can kind of grow us a little bit crazy. So this talk is about an opportunity to walk through the doorway of embodiment, to end cycles of suffering, and to activate the light and life of your own inner healer. So you can become someone who has been healed, not someone lost in endless cycles of perpetual healing. Because of where we are in this point of history, humanity it's growing and healing more miraculously than ever before. These 4 weeks is unlike any other series that I've created, because we have never reached this point of history before, when the opportunity to awaken is not just an option, but a destiny each of us must step fully into. So I just want to give you a list of some of the things we're going to cover in the next 4 weeks and what you will receive from this talk series. You're going to walk through the doorway of embodiment. We're going to embody Christ consciousness, embody Buddha nature, embody the Lotus Flower Sutra. You're going to have your full remembrance of spirit in your life, and you're going to remember the truth of your own spirit. There will be a healing more miraculously than ever before, and you can heal to completion if you are ready and will allow it. You're going to live more in harmony with the uncertainty and have a deeper connection with your highest wisdom. You'll have an ability to process and master your empathic ability, and you will better now live in the presence of the now. That's really what it always comes down to, doesn't it? It's getting in the presence of now and not searching with what's coming from the future, and the power that lives within this moment. What we can do in this moment is what our souls are developed to handle, not to predict what is coming. And the most important teacher we have is our own heart. The most important teacher we have is our own heart. And we know when we're in balance or in harmony, and we know when we are falling off to the stresses or to the anxieties of the world, or seeking people outside of ourselves to somehow fulfill something that's empty in us, when we know nobody can fill the glass of our own soul's development. Edgar Cayce said, we are either here as a soul to grow, or we will have a lifetime where we go backwards, which is basically talking about an idea that we've had many lifetimes, and sometimes we step off from our last lifetime and come into this one and just keep growing and growing. And some people fall into situations where they get involved with things that will lessen their power with alcohol and drugs, or family members that talk them out of the power that's within them, and they start to believe in this limited way of going about life. And so then they start creating more outer experiences that reflect how we feel on the inside if that happened to us. So we really got to stop creating out in the world what our discorded inner world is experiencing, right? And when we're speaking to the ills of our life, we're creating more things to see outside of us that will prove it to us. And it's a bummer, because in the end, we have to take to task what we're harboring and what we're holding about life now. Not life yesterday, not life in the future, but right now, you can always see a direct correlation of what's happening out in the unfoldment of your life by reviewing what you're feeling on the inside. But we have been promised that we are all perfect children of God, made in the image and likeness of God, which broken down means that we can work the same miracles as Christ is, as an example, which doesn't separate us from Christ consciousness. That Christ consciousness lives within us. So we have to trust the wave we came in on and realize that time is not running out. I think there's kind of a time clock with all of us, because we knew of a time that was quieter than it is now. The pace of the world and the pace of the bad news of the world can draw us in. It's captivating. It's like a magnet to get us to try to control whatever we can to have good outcomes in our life. And in the end, it will be fleeting, because we can't sign up with the wave of the world right now, because the wave of the world is too much for any enlightened being, and everybody is at the core of who they are. So it's about this path. It's about the steps we take on this path. It's about us recognizing that this is a life that is a school. And we have to do our studies in the spiritual work first before everything else. Our studying and reviewing and reflecting and recognizing what we are bringing into our inner vehicle, and then what we're expressing out. So often, those who feel like they are here for a reason sense that time is running out, and they spend their life worrying that they might miss their moment. But the only way to miss your life or your moment is to spend your time worrying about missing it. It's never too late to answer a calling, and you're never too old. The tides of your life are magnificently orchestrated to come in and out in perfect union. Don't race ahead and ride a wave that was never meant for you. You'll waste your precious time and energy when instead you could be enjoying your life. Everything has a season, and you're being called to trust the one you are in. Don't let impatience or comparison, competition or paranoia disturb the seeds. Let's take a deep breath into that. So the tide that you're in right now it's all in divine order. And if it feels that it's filled with discomfort, or it feels that it's heavy, or it feels like it's not where you want it to be, then you have to start changing how you're feeling about it. You have to witness what you're saying about it, because our words have power, and our energy in our feeling place has power. When we're feeling a certain way, you don't even have to say out to the universe, we are all energy. Everyone we're coming into contact feels that discord from you when we're living out of balance. So it means taking more time in meditation, taking more time in nature, taking more time with your children or phone calls with people that empower your life versus dispower. Surrounding ourselves with people in consciousness, right, is very, very important. That's why a spiritual community is so important, because many of us have lots of friends that we love, and they're great, and they're fun, and we can laugh and joke and experience life. But can we have these deep conversations about these times and how we can bring more light and love into our own experience of it and share more of that? Rebecca Campbell says, "It seems that everyone has anxiety these days, constantly scanning for something they might have missed or a possible threat. Keeping our mind and body pointed in the same direction as our soul is near impossible at such reactive speeds. Right now, you are being reminded to take a breath and trust the wave you came in on, to trust the season you are in. Time isn't running out. There's plenty of time. There's no rush, and it's never too late." And did you know that people that have anxiety have scientifically been proven to be more intuitive and more empathic? So if you have had anxiety during this time, which energetically, if you look upon the world for your peace, you won't probably find a whole lot there. But if you're finding that you're having a hard time sleeping and you're feeling panicked and you're feeling anxiety, you might want to do some work with recognizing that you have gifts. You have spiritual gifts that attune you to others quicker and easier. And also then means you have to learn how to root yourself and protect your aura. Protecting your aura is very, very important before you leave your home, to see yourself rooted. And I always just see my aura as a white ball surrounding me, and it's going 6 feet out and all the way around. And that light is preceding me, so that if an energy is not necessarily going to meet it, you'll actually watch physicality of people leave that will avoid the light, right? They don't, but if they're meeting that energy, they'll come right on in, and we'll feed each other's auras with beauty and light. But we have to have faith that this is the kind of power that lives within us. We have to have faith that we can actually manifest a different experience in the midst of the same world that we had before we walked in here today. We have to believe that we have innately an understanding of how to navigate this. And we will navigate as we are shown how to navigate each thing. And if we can stay in today, in the power of this moment and each moment, watch how the anxiety leaves, because it's one thing at a time, one moment at a time. It's one breath at a time. You remember the song, "You've got the whole world in your hands, you've got the whole wide world in your hands, you've got the whole world in your hands, you've got the whole world in your hands." It's a scary song when you really think about it now. But what is that song actually saying when you think about we got the whole world in our hands? Oh no, you better run. But if we realize the opportunity of the whole world, the essence of energy, the good energy, the Christ example, the energy that created us and created this beautiful world, the world of the Mother Earth that has the ability to sustain all that it has gone through. We have this power, we have the whole world's energy. When we connect with the thought process of being connected to the higher frequencies of this world, of the beauty of this world, the ones that are really making a difference in the world, and connecting with that heart consciousness is everywhere. People are waking up every day. We're all awakening. And staying tuned into that energy, into that light being that we all are. And not losing faith in the outpicturing that we see, but seeing a different picture from our own mind's eye. seeing it differently, feeling it differently, meditating on it from a higher state of consciousness. So Elizabeth Gilbert says, you have to participate relentlessly in the manifestation of your own blessings. You have to participate relentlessly in the manifestation of your own blessings. We can't really just sit and just think and have. You know, Edgar Cayce says, as babies, when we come into the world, we come from an energy from the universe that was used to thinking and having. So that's why the baby just cries and it gets the breast milk, and the baby gets this. And at first, the mom just feels this massive demand from this little tiny being that just came from just thinking and having, and everything just is handed to the little baby until the mom has to start going, well, you are going to go to bed at night. You are going to actually start following a rhythm of the human condition. Yes, you're spirit first, but you're also in the human condition, and mommy needs some sleep now, right? So we have to do more than just thinking and having. It's a participation in our own experience. It's what we're thinking, it's what we're feeling, it's what we're saying, it's what we're being that culminates a response of receiving from this universe. Last week, I talked about the balancing between the feminine, the divine feminine, and the masculine, and how I've been feeling this sense that the masculine has it's been tilted a touch lately. And we noticed in the history of what's happened the last few years that the woman's situation is coming out from underneath the rug, and there is more balance coming. But as that's happening, we're still not completely there. And I was talking about how the divine femininity is something that lives within men and women. It's not just a woman's process. And we can really look upon those two to know if there's balance in our lives. And this is one of the ways we can recognize if we're feeling balanced in our life or if we're not. Located in the left side of our brain is the masculine force. It is the part of us that is assertive, logical, analytical, doing, controlling, aggressive, striving, projecting hard, or organizing, rushing, thrusting, always pushing us to survive, and has its origin in our minds. The right side of the brain is feminine, or that which is creative, delicate, intuitive, nurturing, receptive, tender, surrendering, synthesizing, integrating, soft, feeling, and the part of us that knows without explanation its roots reach deep into the heart. And it's kind of a nice way to be able to know where you're at. You know, when you're feeling rushed and you feel like the phone is ringing and you got all these emails to answer and you're being pulled in 50 different directions, you're probably coming from the left brain. It's the doing, it's the going, it's the striving against what our heart knows is healthy for us. And finding how we can soften into our lives, softening into the balance of our lives. The more nurturing, the synthesizing, the creating, the beauty that we are that moves, in the Native American, they walk slowly and they're careful. Like everything is about recognizing even the bugs in their path, to not disturb anything. And when we're not disturbing anything, we're also not disturbing ourselves because we're working with the rhythm of the Mother Earth. And the more that we do that vibrationally, it has this attracting quality where other people want to match that energy. On Thursday, we had a guest here named Christinia, who is a Lakota Sioux, and she came to speak at our service, and she talked about the plight of our planet and things like that. And she's also the one that has brought us this. She's part of our collecting of the Christmas goods and the Thanksgiving goods for the Native Americans for the last 30 years. She's been a part of our center for a very long time. And she said, there are people in power right now that think that they're the most powerful, but they have no idea how powerful Mother Earth is, and when the lightning starts and the thunders start to rumble. And it was intense to hear her say that on Thursday, to say there's something bigger spiritually that has more power than any ego, any richest person on this planet, than anything that exists as a human being here. Because in the end, it is spirit that operates this divine experience. And she wasn't using it as a threat. She's just saying, be aware that also this love that we can give to this planet will also recycle and rejuvenate and rebuild this beautiful place that we live on. And that takes mind, body, soul consciousness and how we step into what we are and what we live as in it. So finding balance between the feminine and the masculine, as well as the balance between giving and receiving. If there is an imbalance in either one of those, you may experience financial struggles, relationship issues. The question is, are you being honorable with the universe? Are you giving enough, and are you willing to receive enough? This balance determines your flow of all that you need in your experience, because the universe is honorable. And balance, another words for it is harmony, awakening, new birth. All these things that we're thinking, how do I awaken? How do I get to the 5D consciousness? We had so many words for what we're trying to achieve, and what it is balance. Joy and happiness and peace right here and now. There is no other story than today. You move from here forward. You can't get to there, but from here. And you don't have to worry about yourself for there. We stay in here and watch how it builds this beautiful life that is already planted inside of you without you even knowing, because the universe knows, the Lord knows what you need before you even ask it. It says that in the Bible. So when we're praying, we're not praying to convince some separate God from us. We're praying to put ourselves in alignment with the truth of what we are. Aligning ourselves with this direct connection. The only one that's keeping us from our good is ourselves. Not some unloving God or unloving Mother Earth or unloving source of creation or creator, whatever word makes you feel hugged. All of them lead us to the same road, which is love and expansion, peace and harmony. So we need to open up our heart space energy to activate our intuition. And how do we do that? Open up our heart space. We have to remember what we love. What do we love? What are some of the things in your life? You can call it out right now. What do you love in your life right now? Music, children, dancing, poetry, nature, writing, gardening. And all of those things are of the creative and the created. None of us are like, we love checking our email. We love looking at our texts that we have to make up because we realize we have a bunch of people to respond to, Remembering what we love and doing more from that energy. We might not be able to do just what we love. We can't dance all day. We can't write all day. We can't read poetry all day. But the essence of what we feel when we're doing the thing that we love, we can walk. We can step into our life from that vibration, because that is 5D. It's the place that we do something that we lose time. There is no time, right? Have you ever noticed that you get going on something and you look up and 2.5 hours have passed and you thought it was like a half hour? That's when you're in direct connection. That's something that takes you out of the world, takes you out of the physical ills, takes you out of the marital issues or whatever is, percolating in your mind all the time and keeping you from your good. Remembering what we love and stepping into life that way. And if we can't find it, then we need to meditate more on that harmony and on that beauty. We have to begin to ask. When you are faced with a dilemma, big or small, just ask. Check in with yourself. Quiet your mind and pose a question. It may take practice to learn to trust the answers you get, and it may not always be the answer you want, but follow through and see where it leads you. If your guidance feels muddled, you need to know that your mind is trying to override your heart. If the answer seems muddled, it means that your mind is trying to override your heart. Drop back and ask for clarity. And if time allows, forget about it for a while. Come back to it later with a fresh sense of things and determine what feels right. While doing this, pay attention to where it is in your body that you have a sense or a sensation. Some feel it in their gut, while others feel it in their chest or their heart area. Whatever that feeling is, pay attention to it. It's really important to identify when Spirit is communicating with you. All of us have signs and symbols when the universe is communicating with us, and that's the most important thing, is to identify when that is. For me, I get a ringing in my ears, or I get this like kind of a fuzzy thing that happens right in my third eye. It's not a headache, but it's like a pressure, and I know that the universe is communing with me. And when I wake up in the middle of the night working on sermons, I usually have that feeling going on, and then sometimes I'll write something, and then it's like the ear, and it's like, okay, you like that. Right? And the universe is writing it, they're just giving themselves a round of applause. They're like, good for me, look at this, isn't that nice? Right? So, seeking out the signs and symbols of Spirit conducting its work through you. And everybody has that direct connection. We just have to have faith in that. And like they say, if you believe it, you will see it. And if you think that you have to see it to believe it, it will never happen. You'll never change your mind. You'll never change your experience. Because it takes faith to move into the ethereal, into the spiritual body. Next, we have to learn to trust. We've all had those times when we got the information we needed and didn't trust it. Remember back and isolate the moment when you first heard your intuition tell you the direction to take. What did it feel like? What turned you away from the guidance? Did you trust someone else's opinion over your own inner guidance? How often does that happen? Like we just feel this direct connection and we feel this guidance to really make maybe a drastic move in our life, a drastic change. And then we share it with somebody that we trust their opinion and they just hammer it. They show you every fear you should have about this direct connection, this direct insight that came to you. Till you're so scared, you're so in fear that thing didn't even happen. Who's had that experience where we've listened to someone else's opinion about our divine insight and we stopped moving forward with it? That's why we got to really surround ourselves with people in consciousness. It's okay to have the fun friends. It's good to have everybody. It's great to just have friends. But there are those friends that pray for you and you pray for them. You are like a double conduit of growth for each other. And if you don't have that person, that's what our prayer partners are here for. You have something that's percolating and you're feeling inspired about, go sit with them. I promise you, they will blow wind into your dreams. They will blow prayers into that light that you're feeling because they trust that you know, because you all know what is best and right and called for right now. When I met Mike, my husband, the first time, I had the sense that I was just reunited with an old friend. I sat there and I just stared at the shape of his eyes and the disposition that he held. And when he talked, it was like his voice was just home. And when he laughed, it was like I knew him. I knew him in a way that it made me want to cry because I had missed him all my life. And he was finally here. It was like, why did I have to go through all that before you showed up? Why did I have to go through all that discord in relationships and marriage for you to finally show up? And the truth is that I had signed up with lower self-esteem stuff young. And I wasn't a match yet. That was part of my growing this time. But I knew I was a match then. You know when you're in divine order, when you're in the divine unfoldment of a miracle happening. So we have to cultivate and activate. Think of your intuitive self as a playmate. Invite yourself to play guessing games. You won't always be right at first, but the more you play, the better you get. And the fun part is your intuition wants you to win. Start with little things like wondering who is on the other end of your ringing phone before looking at caller ID, or which color dress your little girl will choose to wear today, or how many green lights you'll get on your way to work. Use your imagination and let the games begin. I had a conversation with my son about 2 weeks ago, who was born more of spirit than human. That's been my issue, is integrating him into the world and rooted and doing well in academics and all these other things. He's spiritual and he's intuitive and he's got gifts, but to work in the world of the school system and everything, it's been at moments pulling my hair out, and it's been frustrating. And I was just like him as a kid. So the universe has mirrored that back to me too, and the insecurities I had that I was stupid and all these things. And then I thrived when I got to a certain age. My brain just got right and I could do everything. But it's those earlier years, I'm sure it was just as frustrating. And you're not frustrated, you're just in fear because you want them to function in this world. But he and I were sitting, and I was talking to him about when he was young, and he'd tell me he'd see people in his room. In every house I've had, he's seen people in his room. And I saw people also that had crossed over when I was young. And I said, do you still see people like that are no longer in the body? And he said, no, I don't. But I see that I could, but I've chosen not to. It helps me to focus to not look into that energy. And I'm like, yeah, I totally, I'm like, but you see it like a fuzzy, like periphery or like experience. He's like, yeah, I do. And I said, I think that you might, I'm very empathic, Ty, but I think you might actually be pretty psychic. It'd be pretty cool if you went to school for developing this ability that you have. He's like, yeah. And it scares me. We just talked about it. But I had just said, I think I'm pretty empathic or whatever. And Mike walked outside and he looked at a car that was going by on a road and he goes, oh my God, I'm so jealous. And immediately I saw in my mind's eye a car that had a wheel like this, like a military car, like a tank. I saw the wheels of it and I said, did it have tank wheels on it? And he said, yeah. While I'm talking to Tyler and we're not sitting near a window. While we're talking about the psychic abilities that are within us, and I'm saying I'm just empathic, I feel other people's feelings, I had a vision of the car that just passed my house without looking outside. It's when you lean into recognizing that we all have these abilities that you start to see it, right? It was that we were having this fun conversation, and we might as well have been in 2 different rooms looking at cards and seeing if we could read each other's cards. It's fun. It's really neat to discover that we all have this telepathic knowing. And some are stronger than others in every person. But we all have this keen sense when something is right and when something is wrong. And we got to follow the right. What is right and good and beautiful? And watch how the other stuff falls away, because we're not in fear, because we're in trust. We're in faith that it's all an unfoldment. And we're part of that process, and we don't have to wait for some distant day that it's going to show up for us, because it's today. It's a choice that this power resides within each and every one of us. We are the creation of the Creator. And the outpicturing, it will blind you when you allow it. And the next part is we have to meditate. And so I'm going to take you into a visualization that I use myself when I'm meditating to connect with my higher consciousness and my soul. So let's just get seated in our seat with our feet flat on the ground. And I'm inviting you to my porch. Isn't it a nice looking porch? I wish I had that porch. So let's just close our eyes and connect with the breath. Breathing in peace and exhaling stress. Breathing in love and exhaling anything that's not serving you. And letting the breath now go into an automatic space, while we bring to mind the places within that are searching for healing, searching for relief, and are open to more peace in body and spirit. Now I want you to relax into your inner being, feeling into your light being, your soul, you as light embodied. I want you to visualize a zipper at the top of your head that you're going to unzip down the front of your entire body and let the body rest on the floor as if it were just clothes. And sit in the awareness of the part of you that is eternal, that has no beginning or end. And allow anything that is carried from the world, from the stresses of the world, to fall off you and rest with the coat of the body on the floor. For Mother Earth to just rejuvenate and take out of the physical body. Bask here in the awareness of this glowing light that you are, as soul, as all-knowing, embodying the capacity of heightened awareness that resides as you. Now, if you're comfortable, visualize now a spirit guide or an angel or whatever spiritual force you rely on, whispering words of encouragement, sitting across from you and holding your light hands, connecting with you on the soul level. And listen here. Soften here. Soften for signs, prompts, or gut feelings, or sounds of song, or visuals of wispy threads dancing in your mind's eye, or simply just feeling seen by this love force of healing. Bask in it. Breathe into it. Allowing this love in. Surrendering in the presence of it. Basking. Breathing. Allowing. Releasing. Any message you're receiving here, hold on to it. Maybe it's just a feeling of love. Maybe it's just a knowing of love. Maybe there's some direction. Maybe this is your moment of remembrance of spirit in your life. And now, when you are complete, when you feel ready to come back, visualize yourself reaching down and grabbing the zipper and zipping up your physical form around your light being until it's snug as a bug in a rug. And say to yourself, I am back fully. I am ready. I am clear to move joyfully in life, following my inner knowing, listening to my spirit's guidance, and allowing my good to flow from within and receive from without. I am awake, and I am ready. And on the count of 3, clap your hands 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And so it is. Let's take an offering for unity now.
It's so beautiful to be able to just sit back and take in the Spirit as it's flowing through this minister, coming through us and joining us in the great intelligence we recognize to be God. And I hope you will be taking that with you into your daily lives. That's the key right there. It's not just to get inspired, but to carry the inspiration with us so that we are connecting with the presence and the intelligence and the love in everything we do. That's our calling, and that's how life turns out to be great in every way. So we have freely given. Let's freely receive. Let's now freely give. And those of you watching live stream, these are the ways you can give to Unity of Boulder. And by the way, think about, if you're still watching this live stream, do something extraordinary. Every now and then, just show up in person. You can wear a mask or not wear a mask. It's up to you. What you believe, we honor here, because it's your belief that means everything. So think about putting in a personal appearance every now and then. We really appreciate having you here. So now bring to mind that financial gift you'd like to make to Unity of Boulder, and we'll bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is.
no beginning, no end, no beginning, no end, no beginning, no end. From here I live. I am clear. I am joyful. I'm alive. I am now. I have so much to give. I am guided to know how. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that you make. The reason we live is here in every gift we give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Oh, yes, I will. Yes, you will. Oh, the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when we're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath. Have a friend to pray with you. Ask a friend to pray with you. Oh, I will pray with you now. And smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. 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 One more time. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. I will do amazing things.
We needed, exactly what we needed. All right, well, at the end of the service, which is now, I gather in a group, usually about 10 minutes after it closes, if you want to come and discuss the service today or just discuss something that's on your heart. And if you have a prayer need or you want to share a joy, you can meet with one of our prayer partners that are in the white sashes. You can just stay seated and they will come and pray with you. We have a mailing this Tuesday at 10:30 where there's food, and it's just a wonderful way to meet other people from our congregation. So you can join us, and that takes place in the bookstore. And get your Christmas Eve service tickets before they're gone. They're free, but you do have to have them, so grab them on your way out of here. We've got a wonderful program being put together as we speak. And I think that's everything. Let's close with Let There Be Peace on Earth. And if you feel comfortable, hold hands with each other. And if not, we'll hold hands for you up here. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. We also have the all-church decorating next Saturday of the entire Christmas building. So I need your help, so show up for that too. That's a lot of fun. And we have Cocoa, 10 a.m. next Saturday. Come join us and we'll get all the Christmas trees up and all that good stuff. All right. If you want to stay, we can do a release. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Now it's your turn. You guys sing. I release and I let go. Nice. You sound great. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Beautiful singing. See you on Tuesday and Saturday for volunteering, and then next Sunday.
All right.